Welcome back to my cozy corner of the internet. I'm Mayastar, and this is the Mayastar Podcast. I teach energy healing courses online through Mayastar Academy, share spiritual guidance and mystical musings on the Maya Muses blog, and provide healing, ritual and spellcasting services as a starseeded shaman and professional witch. And today is episode 52 in the Mayastar Unscripted series. We're going to be discussing happiness, what it is, and how we can use it as part of our spiritual practice, including ways of using energy healing to help us manifest more happiness in our lives and to align with the high frequencies of true happiness. At the end of this episode, I'll be drawing from the Lemurian Star Child Oracle for our Starseed Guidance segment, where I'll present some ideas for reflection and meditation. And you can view the card for this episode's oracle on the Mayastar Podcast YouTube channel by going to the channel homepage and then to the Community Posts tab. Find out about the different ways you can work with me and discover my energy healing and spiritual development courses by visiting my website at mayastar.net. You can also join the Mayastar mailing list to stay up to date with the latest special offers. And as this is an unscripted episode, as usual, I come armed with notes but without a script, so we'll be meandering around these topics and pursuing the scenic route to enlightenment. If this sounds interesting to you, stick around and while away some time with me as we explore these things together. So sit back, relax your shoulders, take a sip of chamomile tea, exhale deeply, and let's explore. So I've been thinking about happiness and how it relates to our spiritual practice, because often happiness is a sort of byproduct of our spiritual work rather than something that we have as a goal. But the experience of happiness is something that we all, at least unconsciously, are working towards. We generally want to feel good and avoid feeling bad, and feeling happy is the peak of feeling good. It's a very high vibrational state when we're experiencing true happiness. So when you're creating things like affirmations or designing a vision board, something like that, what would you include on there to represent happiness for you? How does it feel to you? Are there particular circumstances or particular symbols that you would associate with the experience of happiness? Or do you see happiness as something that's woven into the future you intend to create for yourself, and that it's reflected in everything that you aspire to, even if you never consciously think of it? Happiness is part of that goal. Because I think in a sense we don't really define what happiness is. If we, off the top of our heads, try to describe it, we will tend to describe the circumstances that we feel we need to meet to achieve it. We will describe it as an emotion, when really it's more of an experience than a simple emotion. Because we can feel happy even when our emotions are up and down and varied. We can still continue to experience a sense of completion or hope, inner peace and contentment, even when we're confronted with difficult experiences or going through a painful time. Happiness doesn't have to be far away from that experience, because it can be tied to our state, tied to our inner wisdom, our inner spiritual state, rather than something that's changeable depending on the things that are going on around us. I like to think of it as being a bit like the sunshine. The way the sun is shining can make you feel a certain way, and perhaps on a clear morning the bright light of the sunrise inspires you to feel more happy, more lifted. And then on a cloudy morning you might feel that happiness has gone away, you're not having the same experience. But even on a cloudy day, you're aware that above the clouds, the sun is still shining, it's still there. You can still see the light of it. You can still appreciate the fact that the sun has risen, even if you're not getting the exact same experience. So I feel like it can be that way with your experience of happiness in your life, that even when your emotions are cloudy, you can still retain that wisdom that tells you that on some level the sun is still shining, there is still hope, there are still possibilities, even when your feelings are up and down and all around. I think another thing with the experience of happiness is that even during a particularly happy occasion, or what we would like to think of as a happy experience, thinking now of things like celebrating Christmas with your family, you know it's a happy and joyful occasion. But even during those happy and joyful occasions, you'll experience moments of stress, and you'll experience moments of not feeling particularly comfortable, maybe after eating a bit too much food or something like that. And even the fact that when you're going through those festive occasions, you may not be sticking to your usual sleep pattern, and that can leave you feeling a little bit flat after a few days. So even what we consider happy occasions, reasons to celebrate, it's not a linear experience. Often we look back and appreciate it as a positive experience and focus mostly on the highlights, the smiles and the laughs. But the experience of a happy occasion isn't one continuous emotion. So even though we're happy, we will experience different emotions, even in the midst of it. But we all want to be happy. We all want to experience happy occasions. We all want to tap into those energies within us. And a lot of the time we can get tied up with the idea that things have to look a certain way, or feel a certain way, or, you want to achieve the perfect body or achieve your perfect bank account, then you'll be happy. Find your perfect partner, or at least somebody who's going to fold the laundry and not leave all the chores to you, or something like that. You'll have a big checklist of things that you think that you need to achieve in order to experience this true happiness. But I think the most important thing to recognize is that you can achieve happiness and experience happiness without achieving any of those random things, any of those things that you can imagine that would make you happy. They probably won't if you're not able to experience happiness in the present moment. If you're looking at the present moment and thinking of the things you lack, that's not going to inspire happiness. So a big part of experiencing it is experiencing gratitude, being grateful for the things you have, appreciating their value, appreciating the blessings in your life, and trusting in the universe to support you in your goals. But it's the state of trust rather than the achievement of those goals that really inspires true happiness. And a big part of tuning into those happiness frequencies can be deliberately and mindfully bringing happiness into your spiritual practice. And you don't need to do something really elaborate. You don't have to do something kind of crazy like sit under a waterfall and surround yourself with crystals and candles and start chanting in order to manifest happiness. You don't have to, I wouldn't knock it. I mean, you could try that, but there's a lot of other things you could try as well. You can appreciate the element of water without having to locate a dangerous waterfall for meditation. And the other thing is, happiness isn't only about smiling. Although we do often smile when we're happy, it's quite possible to feel happiness throughout the day without continuously smiling. And if you are continuously smiling, that's often a kind of problem more than anything. You could be dissociating from your real feelings and the real experiences of life. You could be in denial about your true feelings and just faking some happiness. But the happiness that we're trying to achieve through our spiritual practice is more like a deeper kind of joy, a sense of alignment and communion with the universe, where you really feel that you're in the right place, in the right time, and everything is falling into place in that moment. So you have a sense of alignment and peace. Your intuition is able to communicate with you much more effectively. You don't have a sense of resistance. You're not trying to talk yourself out of the experience or explain it away by overly analysing every little thing. You're simply connected with your true divine potential. And on that level of divinity, your soul is always in a state of joy, of happiness. So it's more like a frequency than a feeling. That's why I say it's more of an experience than an emotion. It's a vibe, if you will, and you can tune into it. And so even when life's up and down and messy and getting frayed around the edges, in the background, there's always that possibility of reconnecting with that sense of peace and joy, contentment, gratitude, appreciation for life that's in the background. It's always there. It's your natural state. So looking at spiritual practices that can help you to tune into that frequency, well, it doesn't even have to be a spiritual practice per se. I mean, you could experience it while you're doing yoga or meditation or some kind of energy healing. But equally, you could make space in your life to connect with your happiness in more mundane ways. And really it's just a case of making some kind of activity, even if it's seemingly a mundane activity into something mindful and meaningful for you. So that might be something like reflecting on the things that you're grateful for as part of your morning routine, perhaps while you're taking a shower or travelling to work or taking your dog for a walk or anything like that. Something that you do every day, and use that activity as part of your spiritual practice, even if it's not an overtly spiritual practice in itself. What you bring to it, your intention and your energy, could make it into something quite magical. And if you feel that happiness seems like a bit of a strange aspiration, then perhaps start by focusing on a sense of peace or a sense of connection with the universe. Or maybe you just think about things that have made you laugh in the past and allow yourself to laugh and achieve a heightened state through giggling. Or it could even be that during these times you allow yourself to cry. There are times when that can make you feel a lot of the relief and tune you back into your inner peace because you've been holding things in all day at work or something like that. Or perhaps you're just a bit hormonal and, it will help you. It'll be cathartic if you allow yourself to express your emotions. And again, it doesn't have to look like a orderly spiritual practice to actually be your spiritual practice. And I think energy healing has to be one of the most versatile spiritual practices for connecting with your inner self, with your inner peace, and with your happiness. Because working with energy healing systems regularly will naturally cleanse your energy field of low vibrations, old traumas, blocked emotions, and the general debris that builds up over time. And through energy healing practices, you can start to release all of those blocks and let go of all the resistance so that it's much easier to reconnect with your inner state and experience those high frequencies, that higher state of consciousness. And I would also emphasize that don't feel that in order to work your spiritual practice into your daily routine, you need to allocate a lot of time to it. Sometimes it's just a case of allowing yourself to take a break, and it doesn't have to be very complicated. Just sit down, put your headphones on, and be quiet for 10 minutes. That might be a powerful way of reconnecting with yourself and preventing the outside world from disturbing your inner peace. Sometimes it's literally just a case of putting your phone down so you don't keep scrolling through your social media or reading the news or anything like that. Sometimes cutting the distractions is the main obstacle to experiencing your inner peace and happiness. But because energy healing is so versatile, and because your spiritual practice can be built into your mundane daily tasks, using energy healing techniques alongside your daily routine could be a good way to bring those energies in. And the Happiness Flush Empowerment course is one of the ones that I would recommend in this regard. It's a restoration to the Mayastar syllabus, and it's a very high frequency energy healing modality that really brings you into alignment with those energies. It supports your energy body in reflecting those high frequencies, allowing you to fully ground those high vibrations into your life. And it helps to remove the energetic blocks that act as obstacles to your inner peace and joy. So it really clears away the heaviness. You can think of it as being a sort of energetic bath for your aura, helping you to release the energetic codes that relate to experiences like sadness and grief, and helping you to come back to a state of harmony and balance. Another option you might want to consider is the Lakshmi Golden Good Fortune Energy Healing course. This one isn't just about happiness, but it's a very golden energy. And so it's about connecting with abundance and joy, beauty, health and wealth in all areas of your life. So it's a great energy to connect with, to amplify positive vibrations, to inspire your optimism and hope, and to draw positive experiences into your life, because you're increasing the resonance you have with those positive energies. Another option would be the All Is Well activation, which again, it's bringing you into a state of balance and harmony. It's connecting you with your inner wisdom and the knowledge that on some spiritual level, all of these things that you're worrying about and everything that looks so chaotic, and even when Mercury's in retrograde or your cat's knocked over the altar again and that kind of thing, all of these little inconveniences don't bother you to the same extent, because you're connecting on a regular basis to that inner wisdom that reminds you that all is well and that you can retain some kind of perspective no matter what sort of chaos is unfolding in your life. And there's the Unicorn Love and Light Empowerment. This is one that I like to recommend for inner child healing and for connecting with your creativity. So because of those energetic frequencies, it's very good for disconnecting from being overly analytical, focus too much on action and focus too much on achievement. It can bring you back into that appreciation of experience, bring you back into living in the moment and allowing the higher energetic frequencies to come through. So just releasing you from that sense that you can't feel happy until you've achieved X, Y, and Z. It's bringing you back to the sense that now is the time, you're in the present moment and you can feel good right now. And if you can feel good right now, then you know that you will be able to feel good in the future, no matter what's going on. And that's a very gentle energy as well. I think it's a great energy for connecting with in your day-to-day life. It can also act as a kind of cleansing if you've been through a stressful day at work, for example. Connecting with that Unicorn Love and Light energy on your way home from work could be a powerful transition back into that state of appreciation. Now, of course, performing rituals, having a proper meditation or using affirmations or journaling to connect with your happiness is a powerful thing to do if it fits in with your routine and you're not causing yourself too much stress by dedicating yourself to your spiritual practice. But it doesn't have to be something very complicated. And I feel that the more simple you can make it, the easier it is to maintain that routine. And consistency is much more important. And I'm going to give some more recommendations in the article that I've written about this subject. So by the time this episode is released, the blog article on the Maya Muses blog at blog.mayastar.net will already be live, and you can have a look at that and get some more tips, practices and affirmations, meditations that you might want to use for the purpose of connecting with your true happiness. And if your life has been feeling heavy and you've been feeling overly busy, I think it's a good idea to start small, and the recommendations and techniques I'll be outlining in that blog article will be made just for you. Something simple, something that you can connect with daily that won't take up too much time and effort, and can help you to bring through those higher frequencies so that you can experience that inner joy, that light within yourself, and the happiness that comes from the connection with your true spiritual self. It's already within you, and it's just waiting for you to create avenues for it to be fully expressed through. So my article will be written with a view to helping you to do that. And now we come to our Starseed Guidance segment, where we seek some spiritual inspiration for the week, drawn from the Lemurian Star Child Oracle, which I've been using to connect with my Lemurian guides for ideas we can reflect on and use as a jumping off point for our spiritual work. And today's card is titled Unlock Your Gifts. This card is one of the landscape ratioed cards in this deck, and I don't know if we've actually had one of these come up before. It features some dolphins, either swimming or jumping out of the water like they do. It certainly has a feeling of joy and fun, playfulness, intelligence, inquisitiveness. It's a very light and spiritual energy with a lot of blue and white and a bit of turquoise in there. In the context of today's episode, I'd say the dolphins are bringing a message of playfulness, that playfulness can be a powerful way to create sacred spiritual experiences like happiness. Playfulness inspires openness and alignment, so it might be a good way to help you to connect with those higher frequencies. But let's have a look and see what the guidebook has to say about this card, and see if we can derive further inspiration that way. Okay, unlock your gifts. Sacred gifts. Energy senses. Pure love is the key. Oh yeah, there's a key in the card. Sorry, I actually forgot to mention that. There is a key depicted in the card. I suppose that makes sense. It is unlock. And here we say, pure love is the key. Honor and use them. They are natural. Miracles. Instant manifestation. Healing. Clairvoyance. Light language. Many gifts of light are upon you, and the key to unlock them is designed in the language of light. Look at the key in the picture of this card, for it contains all the codes that you need for this new earth activation. You are invited to attune to your multidimensional awareness, to go beyond the linear mind. The gifts allow you to integrate more of yourself, to receive your divine frequencies and colours of ascension in the physical. You have drawn this card for encouragement and confirmation that your gifts are important, and to show you that the key to manifestation is already in your hands. The gifts of abundance, divine abilities, and even miracles are at your fingertips when you allow yourself to be guided by divine will. Your hands as tools for manifestation unlock these gifts of light. Allow Archangel Michael to come into your hands to activate your DNA and unlock these gifts. So this is a very good card for aligning with your true spiritual potential, awakening your gifts, and awakening to that higher consciousness. So I think meditating on this card would be a good way to help you to connect with those frequencies and perhaps derive some personal guidance on the things that might work best for you in pursuing happiness as part of your spiritual work. And we have some affirmations that you might also like to use. Love is the key. I follow waves of love to reach heaven's treasures. As I open more and more to my sacred heart, I grow bolder in sharing the divine gifts I find there. As I surrender to the divine, open to receive and gain clarity from Source, I am gifted with a depth of perception and knowing beyond linear thought or logic. I am learning to trust my gifts and going beyond any fears of sharing them. Such a beautiful sentiment, something that we could all reflect on today. And as usual, I'll be posting the card for this energy reading on the Mayastar Podcast YouTube channel. So if you go to the channel homepage and then to the community posts tab, you'll find that the image will go live at the same time this episode is released. So you can then use that for meditation and reflection. See if it vibes with you and see if you're inspired to activate your own spiritual gifts by reflecting on the card. But as always, please take only what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. And if you've enjoyed today's Unscripted, please let me know in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions or subjects you'd like to be addressed in future Unscripted episodes. And if you can, please give the podcast a like or a 5-star review so that the algorithm can get some idea of who they should be recommending these episodes to. And that brings us to the end of today's Unscripted. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you're leaving this episode suffused with good vibes and great ideas. You can hear more from me today by exploring previous Unscripted episodes, and remember that these episodes are pre-recorded and inspired by the comprehensive articles on my blog. So to learn more and read my latest top tips and guidance, visit the Maya Muses blog at blog.mayastar.net. I hope to see you back here again soon, and in the meantime, I wish you peace, prosperity, and progress in all you do, with blessings.